Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I had seen the screenshot from one of the brothers, GMS Nabah, Memphis Nabah, brother, elder brother Nabah in Memphis uploaded this picture, and it made me think about 2 Thessalonians instantly. It says how I imagined evil as a kid, and it's supposed to show the spiritual demon Satan with wings and horns, some type of demonic creature, as he's some type of ruler in hell. But then it says how it actually looks, and it just shows Edomites, which, you see who's on these pictures, but these are Edomites, Esau, Edom. And that's when the scriptures goes into the devil, that serpent, or the old serpent, the devil. And in certain cases, even when they say Satan, it's talking about the Edomites, not the spiritual demon Satan. But then you have the instances where it is talking about the actual demon Satan. Well, spiritual demon Satan. So now let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm trying to see if I want to read in the AMP. I'm gonna stay in the KJV. This 2 Thessalonians 2:1. It says, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, and by the gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Yahweh Shah is at hand." And we are definitely near the time of the return of Yahweh Shah, our Lord. And more people now see it. With this ongoing war, they know everybody's classifying this as World War III. So the regular people knowing that this is the time. And they saying that the Lord is going to come back, but they don't know what it's going to entail. Verse 3, "Let no man deceive you by any means, but that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." I read verse 3 in the AMP. "Let no one in any way deceive or entrap you, but that day will not come unless the apostasy come first." And it says the apostasy is referring to a future event. Let's get the word apostasy. Renunciation of belief, or the abandonment or renunciation of a religious or political belief. So falling away from the truth. It says that is the great rebellion, the abandonment of the faith by professed, which is say Christians, but as followers of Yahweh Shah. And the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, the Antichrist, the one who is destined to be destroyed. So just like it said in the KJV, the falling away has already came, because we fell away from our heritage, our customs. We forgot who we were as a nation. We forgot we were Israelites. All of that has happened. We fell away from our heritage. As the Lord said, we was going to discontinue. He told Jeremiah, even you yourself going to discontinue. This is Jeremiah 17:4. "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. But ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." So we fell away from our customs, our heritage, our culture, everything that made us who we were, or are rather. Everything that made us who we are, we fell away from it. And we still trying to get back to it, because we still do not fully know our own custom. That's how far we fell. We still don't fully know our own culture. And there's a lot of things that we have to be retrained and relearned in, because we fell away. Esau, Edom did a hell of a lot to our people to ensure that we did not remember who we were until the Spirit of the Lord woke us up. And now, the second portion of it said, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Perdition goes into destruction. So the man of sin has been revealed as Esau Edom, and the whole world has recognized him as who he truly is. Now everybody's holding him for who he is. They calling him the devil, Satan. They calling this man or Esau or the Edomites. They're calling them they're evil. You know, that's who they're really. When I say they, I mean the other nations. That's who they identify him as. And even a lot of our people are starting to identify these Edomites as evil. But, you know, of course, they only talking about, you know, DJT and his political party. But they're not talking about the Edomites in general, because you got to consider, you got to remember, these Edomites at one point had us in captivity, and they wanted it like that. They kept it like that. They didn't think about, we should free these people. There were no marches of just straight Edomites trying to fight for freedom for the nation of Israel. You know, they only join in this bandwagon now because they see it as a benefit for themselves. But deep down, if it ever came to them and you, they're going to always choose them. They're going to always choose them. Even if it's wrong to choose their own race, in whatever case it may be, they're going to always choose them. You know? So, and it said the son of perdition. So the Edomites were destined, they were created to be destroyed. Let's see. Let me get that. It's in Job. Job 21. I'm gonna start at 27. The judgment of the wicked is in another world. And that's spiritual. That is even titled that. It's in another world, because when you go into a world, it also goes into the age. When people say the end of the world, well, it's not the end of earth. It's just the end of the world of the Edomites. The end of the age of the Edomites. And see, at that time, they didn't have the world domination that they do now. So the judgment of the wicked, because they are the wicked, is in another world. At that time, it was in another era, which is the era that we in now. So now the judgments that's written here is going to happen unto them. It says, behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have you not asked them that go by the way? And do you not know their tokens? Verse 30, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. It said they were destroyed. They were reserved to the day of destruction. The Lord has the day of his return specifically designed to destroy the wicked. You know, their empire, their power, their political systems, their influence over the earth. And after 1,000 years, they themselves, you know. So the time that's coming, the great time of destruction, you know, the day of the Lord, that's what the Lord is reserving them for. That's why I said the son of perdition. They were destined to be destroyed. They're being reserved. That's why a lot of them are living to be extremely old ages. You know, the Lord is literally reserving them, allowing them to live long enough just for them to see the return of Yahushua and to see the destruction of their world and to see their people, including themselves, going to captivity, going to slavery, you know? Let me see, I think it's one more. I know it's not worded like this. Let me see, how is it worded? Okay. All right. I can't remember. Verse 4, back in 2 Thessalonians 2, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Right. And this is and Esau Edom is the only one that's done that. He is because these other nations, they got their own gods. You know, they got their own idols they worship. But Esau Edom put his own kind, Cesare Borgia put his own kind in that seat as if he was the Lord and Savior himself, and told the world to worship him as a god, like he was God, and he's fooled billions of people, millions or billions of people into thinking that really was the Lord, until the truth came out. Only he has done that, and then he acts as if he controls life and death and how the earth should be run and the direction that the earth should go into. This is the so-called white man that does these things, trying to go outside of the earth, something he didn't even create. He has no business doing, trying to go outside the earth into the space and regulate what goes on. That's none of that. He well beyond his boundaries, way out of pocket. Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. And he has already been revealed, because even at that time, he was revealed. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this man to do what he do on the earth until, again, the day of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua comes, and he be taken out of the way. They being reserved. So the Lord is allowing them to continue on until the time of their destruction. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That's what he's doing now. The wicked has been revealed, and he's being consumed by the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets, the men of the Lord that's constantly prophesizing the downfall of Babylon the Great, of Esau, Edom, and these other nations, but going into the wicked, prophesying the downfall of Esau, Edom, and his kingdom, Babylon the Great, America. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So when Yahweh shall come back, he gonna physically take this man out of power by force via the chariots, the thermonuclear missiles, and the chariots, the angels coming back in what the world know as so-called UFOs. That's what Yahweh shot pulling up in. And then on top of that, the 144,000 with the spiritual power. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. And this is what Esau Edom, I'm reading the AMP, it says the coming of the Antichrist, and it's not one person. That's going into the spirit. It's going into a spirit. Being against Yahweh Shah, you in the spirit of an Antichrist. It says the lawless, one who through the activity of Satan attended with great power all kinds of counterfeit miracles and deceptive signs and false wonders, and all of them lies. And you just think about it now. What's the most popular thing now? AI technology. This man can create a whole nother reality and make it look so realistic that you have to question if it's real or not. This man can make it seem as though people who are already passed away and dead in the spirit world, it make it seem like if they still alive. And it's all a lie. To have power on that level, that's why I said the working of Satan. And now I'm gonna get Satan right here, because not all the time where you see Satan, it's talking about the spiritual demon Satan, and it goes into Satanas. That's the Greek word. It says adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act. The name given to, and then it says the prince of evil spirits, which that is the spiritual demon Satan. He is over the left-hand spirits, but he's not an adversary to the Most High or Yahweh Shah. He works for the Most High. The Lord created him. But then you get down here to B, it says a Satan-like man, and that's the Edomites, the so-called white people. That's the role that they play, because look at what they're doing in the earth. Look at how they're moving in the earth. Look at what they've done in the earth. All they've done is start wars, create bloodshed, and destroy people. and destroy the earth. This is what they've done. I'm going to read some of these, though. It says, he incites apostasy from the Most High and to sin. Again, apostasy goes into rebellion or renouncement of belief. Is this not what Esau Edom has done? Trying to get people to fall away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Abishai, fall away from the Lord, doing everything, any and everything in contrary to what the Lord said is right. That's what he do. He turns things upside down, circumventing men by his wiles. Let's get circumventing. Avoid. Or no, it's a find a way around, or to overcome, and then it says to deceive or outwit. So he's deceiving people by his, let's get wiles, tricks, devious or cunning stratagems employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants. So he's luring and enticing men, deceiving men to go off. The worshipers of idols are said to be under his control. You got people worshiping all types of idols. They even got a show called American Idols, Let's see what that is, since I mentioned it. American Idol is an American singing competition television series created by Simon Fuller, where aspiring singers compete for a recording contract and fame. Right. So basically, I remember what it is now. People go and sing in front of a audience and judges to basically to become an icon in this place, Like I said, for a contract, a recording contract or a deal and fame. But like I said, worshipers of idols are said to be under his control. Our people, or people in general, they worship celebrities. They worship, again, false gods, all these different philosophies, doctrines, ideologies. You got even people who believe in the evolution. He just got people going off. They believe in the Big Bang. He got people going off. This is Esau Edom's doing. It says, by his demons, he is able to take possession of men and afflict them with diseases. Don't Esau Edom create all these diseases? He be creating all these different diseases and putting them out there in the people. In the world for people to get. What he did with the native, so-called Native Americans, Gad. Tuskegee experiment. And then on top of that, he's spraying chemtrails in the sky. This is the man that's doing this. He got the power to do that. It says by the Most High's assistance, he is overcome. That's how we gonna defeat him. By Yahweh Ba'ashem Abishai. That's the only way we can defeat him. So yeah, a Satan-like man. So going back to verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. He do have power on the left-hand side to do things in this world, that was unbelievable or unforeseen in an ancient world. Just think about if they had like videos in the ancient world during this time, and Esau Edom would have been able to show them anything and deceive the whole world, just like he did in modern day time. Verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Right. I'm reading in the AMP. And by unlimited seduction to evil, and with all the deception of wickedness for those who are perishing, because they did not welcome the love of the truth, this going into the Israelites, of the gospel, so as to be saved, they were spiritually blinded and rejected the truth that would have saved them. So it's going into our people, because they've been so captivated by Esau Edom, they rejected the truth and denied it and didn't want anything to do with it, when that was the way for salvation for them. They rejected salvation, basically. And this is what Esau Edom has. He set it up to do this. Set it up this way. He wants our people to fall. He wants, because he know who we are, and he know what we got coming for us, and he know as long as we are under his control, the Lord is gonna be at odds against us. So that's what he wants. Verse 11. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusions, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So this is going again to our people, that they all might be damned. There's no hope. They got to be reset. Esau Edom, he won their minds, and they refused to be let go of, or they refused to come out of it. The Lord woke us up, and we got to continually be thankful that Yahweh Shem Shah took us out of the world and brought us into this truth, because that could have been us. And Lord, will it don't be us. We want to be saved. We want salvation. Right. Right. So let me get one more. It's Revelations 12, starting at 7. And there was war in heaven. Now, again, what we read in Job, the wicked is reserved until the day of the Lord, or day of wrath, or Yahweh Shem Shah. And this is going into actually the day of wrath, when Yahweh Shah and the heavenly host return to fight Esau Edom. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. The dragon is representation of that old serpent from the very beginning. Back in Genesis chapter 3, that same serpent, that same spirit that was in the earth at the time, before they were called the Edomites, they were known as the wicked. The sons of the wicked, you had the sons of God and the sons of man. Sons of God, of course, is now the Israelites. But before we was called Israelites, we was called the sons of God. The sons of man is going into all the other nations, And then the sons of the wicked is going into Esau Edom, which at the time they wouldn't call them the Edomites. But just to let you know who it's talking about, that same serpent, his whole line, that's who he is. So that serpent was his knowledge at that level, at that time, and now he's a dragon, which is a higher level of knowledge. That's why it's called the dragon. And I wonder, let me see if it say anything about it. Let's see. First, let me see if it's anything in here. But if not in here, I'm gonna get it on Google. It's a dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. Let me see if it says anything in here. If not, okay, let's get it on Google real quick. Because it's going into the mythical creature. It says number 3, a fiercely vigilant or intractable person. Stubborn, hard to control or deal with. That's going into intractable and vigilant. Now let me get more into it. Dragon, knowledge meaning, I guess. It says dragon knowledge, which It's not called dragon knowledge. It's just that's cause being matter of fact, I might need to get that too. Let me see, serpent to dragon. Dragon knowledge meaning. Let's see if it'll say something like that. It says the transformation from serpent to dragon symbolizes the evolution of consciousness, representing the journey from base instincts to higher awareness and enlightenment. This duality reflects the balance between lower and higher aspects of the self, often associated with spiritual awakening and personal growth. And then let's combine that with this. Dragon knowledge symbolizes profound wisdom, transformation, and the ability to navigate life's challenges. It represents the inner strength and clarity that can guide personal growth and decision making. So basically what it's saying is it's going from one level of knowledge to the next, one way of being to the next. I think it said more on here. It says the transition from serpent to dragon is a powerful symbol representing the evolution of consciousness. This transformation illustrates the journey from base instincts to higher awareness and enlightenment. Right. So that's all we need on that. So going back to it. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought in his angels. Now keep that in mind when it come down to verse 9. And prevailed not, neither was there found place anymore in heaven. So the Esau, Edom, the wicked, they couldn't beat Yahushua and the heavenly host. You know, it was a flawless victory, you know. So it said they found no more place in heaven. They had no more power. The Lord destroyed them. Verse 9. Now here it is again. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. What old serpent? The same serpent that was in the beginning. It's not the spiritual demon Satan. You don't see nowhere in the Bible where the spiritual demon Satan was kicked out of heaven in Genesis. It don't say that nowhere. You know? It don't say that Satan got kicked out of heaven and his angels got kicked out with him. But no, what it tell you is a serpent or a serpent-like man, you know, somebody who moves in a way of a serpent, deceived Eve to deceive Adam, to cause Adam to fall. And he got punished along with Adam and Eve. So that's the same serpent that's now in today's time still causing men to fall, primarily the Israelites, doing the same thing he was doing in the beginning. But this time he's going to have to own up to it. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You know, again, this ain't talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's like I said, when you see Satan, it going to a Satan-like man. Now let's get devil. We'll end it on this. Diablos, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. A communator, a false accuser, a slanderer. This is what Esau Edom does too. He falsely accused or slandered our people, the nation of Israel. You know, the nation of Israel. He projected. Just think about during the time of hardcore slavery for our people, the so-called black people, how he slandered and projected us to be the worst type of human beings on earth. Meanwhile, he was literally doing the worst crimes known to humanity to our nation. But he was projecting that to be on us. And then he created the society for our people to fit that projection, to make it seem like he been telling the truth the whole time. Because now we got a bunch of degenerates in our nation. But before that even came about, that was literally him. And he was projecting that and slandering our people. And then try to accuse us to the Most High. Like, look at them. You know, these your people. These the ones you trying to come back and save. Look how they behaving. But he set it up that way. He created the society and programmed our people's minds to behave in a way that he was projecting us to be in the first place. And then metaphorically, it says applied to a man who, by opposing, not one man, a race of people, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or side with him, you know, and see, as side with him, side with Satan, not the spiritual demon Satan. So look, it says, Satan, the prince of demons, the author of evil, persecuting good men. And this, you know, spiritual demon Satan, he does do that too, you know. But the Lord set him up to do that. He ain't doing nothing but what the Lord created him to do on that left-hand side. He not in opposition against the Most High. It's Esau that's in opposition. In his mind, he in opposition. Spiritual demon Satan doing what the Lord created him to do in total obedience. Now it says, estranging mankind from the Most High and enticing them to sin and afflicting them with diseases by means of demons who take possession of their bodies at his bidding, the malignant enemy of the Most High and the Messiah. This is directly talking about Esau, Edom, you know. And best believe they do all manner of witchcraft and sorcery to try to destroy our people, destroy his own people. And I ain't even see this one down here. It says, men who resemble the devil in mind and will are said to be part of the devil, properly to derive their origin from the devil, tropically to depend upon the devil in thought and action, to be prompted and governed by him. This is directly talking about the Edomites. Directly. Men who resemble the devil in mind and will. This is a direct precept to talking about Esau, Edom. I didn't even know this was down in there. That's fire right there. You know, it's going, and you see it say men, so it's not talking about no one man. It's going into a nation of people. So when you read this again, and the great dragon was cast out, that same dragon, it says the old serpent, the serpent from the beginning, and it said men, a man. So it's letting you know it's talking about people, not the spiritual demon Satan, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. The spiritual demon Satan is not here on earth. You don't see him on earth in a body deceiving people, but we see these Edomites doing it. He was cast out into the earth and his angels were cast out with him, meaning they lost the war. Because remember, that was war in heaven. So they lost the war. The world, not only just WW3, but the Armageddon, or Armageddon is going into when Yahweh shall return. They're going to try to fight against him and going to lose horribly. So, let's see if it's still up. So going back to this, like I say, how I imagine evil as a kid, you know, and even you still got adults that think like this on the left. Look at that. These devils and anti-Christians are watching. That's from Elder Apostle Rumlob. But like I said, you even got adults that think like this on the left, not even just children. But in actuality, it's what it is on the right. And now the man of sin has been revealed. We know who you are now. So on that note, Lord willing, it's edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. And until next time, shalom.